Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Today we're doing a set for Halloween. Here's the plate I'm gonna use. Brand new, taking off the blue film and showing you all the designs that are on it. Alright everyone, so the tips are on. They're looking a little rough, I know, but these tips were so hard to put on. I think it's because of the curvature of the tip. I don't know, I haven't had a hard time like this before. It took literally about 2 to 3 minutes holding the tip firmly on there in order for it to stick good so I can file in shape. And I know the shape is not so great, but I'm okay with it. And so for the slip solution, I'm gonna try the Savvyland, which came in one of my kits. I haven't used it yet, so let's see how that's gonna work. And I'm just gonna top coat them, or just put a thin layer of clear polygel just to even out the tip to the finger, which is actually pretty good, but I just want a nice smooth surface to work on. Alright, so I placed just a small little bead of the polygel on the nail. It's nothing to strengthen the nail or anything. I just want to, like I said, smooth it out. And this slip solution is pretty good. It seems a little bit thicker than the alcohol that I usually use. But it lasts about the same amount of time, and for some reason, I don't know if it's the slip solution or what, but this polygel, I've used it before, so it has to be the slip solution. But anyway, it looks like it's beating up on the nail, like when you have grease on a surface and you put water. I don't know if you can see it on there, but yeah, we're gonna have to see if it's gonna show through or not. I don't really like that at all. I'll just continue using it for the rest of this nail, and I'm gonna swap it out because I just don't like the way it's looking. I have a feeling it's gonna affect the rest of the nail art, which I haven't decided if I'm gonna put a layer of colored polygel over this or gel polish, but regardless, I don't want it to affect it. And as I continue, it like gets stuck. Yeah, no, I'm not liking this slip solution at all. clean my brush and dump out the rest of the slip solution that's in my dampen dish and replace it with alcohol for the rest of the nails. Sorry, Savvyland, this slip solution is not working for me at all. Alright, so I cleaned out my dampen dish, cleaned my brush, and then I just cleaned off the nail with alcohol, and it should be good. It looks fine. I'll just need to file and clean up the edges, but I'll wait till I do the rest and we'll clean them all up at once. So I'm moving on to the next. And I know I didn't show you the clear polygel that I'm using is this Francesca that I got off, excuse me, I got this off of AliExpress, I believe it is. And it's pretty good, I like it. I've got also, I think it's a nude color in it. And I like the nude color as well. If you're just trying polygel for the first time or still learning and you don't want to spend too much money, that Francesca brand is pretty good. Very inexpensive. Oh yeah, I can tell alcohol is a very much better slip solution than that Savvyland. It was just, oh yeah, no bueno, Savvyland. So sorry. The polygel is great, but the slip solution, not so much. Alright, so we're just gonna finish evening the coat out here, just so we have something to smooth to work on. Like I said, I'm not sure what we're doing yet. I've got several items in my head of what I want, but usually never pans out that way. If you know me, I'm not a very out of the box thinker. I have to see everything visually. I'm not very creative either. So we'll see. I struggle with that every day, but when I do nails, so whatever. A little story about creativity. It's funny because my family is very creative, including my husband. I have artists in the family. Everybody can draw. For some reason, that talent skipped me. But, oh well. Alright, so I think we're good. I know I did go over the edges here, but I'm just gonna file that off. No big deal. I'm not gonna worry about it now. Alright, so I'll put this in the lamp to cure for 30 seconds and we'll move on. Alright, so we're moving on to the ring finger. Again, another quick thin layer. So this set is obviously going to be for Halloween, which is a little, actually very early for me. I usually don't like to do anything holiday inspired, or however you want to say it, until it's closer to the time. But I've seen several YouTubers getting ready and giving inspiration for everyone. And then also we saw our neighbors yesterday putting up Halloween lights already. So I said, well, let's just go for it. I plan to do at least one more before Halloween, but we'll see how that goes. I'm already excited to do Christmas stuff. I've got Christmas stamping plates that I have never used, and yeah, I'm excited. I've got stamping gel that's fairly new as well that I will be using in this video, and I think I've used them once before, so we'll see how that goes. The stamping jelly stamper that I have is not very big, so it's more for either short nails or a section of a long nail, because it will not cover this full long nail. So we'll see how I do. I'm waiting for my big stamper to come in, but yeah, so we'll do with what we have for now. Oh, and I think this nail is ready to go. So we'll cure this little baby and move on to the pinky. Alright, so on to the pinky. So when I'm doing just a thin layer, I squeeze it on the nail like this. Just one long bead. It seems to be easier that way. But when I'm doing either my natural nails or I'm practicing my polygel application to shape and everything, I'll do smaller beads, probably like 2 beads, one at the cuticle, and then one building the apex and the tip of the nail. But this is not too crucial, so I'm just put it on as one big bead. And the pinky, I think, I put a little bit too much, so I'll just smooth everything to the end and then cut off what's left. So usually I do this as a voiceover after I film, but I thought I'd be in the moment and explain everything and just conversate as I'm going. So let me know in the comments what you like better, and then I can continue that way. If just this way takes a little bit longer because I need to explain everything as I'm going and think about it, because yeah, apparently I can't multitask certain things at one time. Alright, so I think the pinky is good. As you can see, there's a little bit of excess around the sides and the tip. Usually I will go over and kind of pull it off this way, but I'm going to just go ahead and leave it as is, and then I'll file it off and see if that's any easier for me. I haven't really done it that way before. Alright, so clean around the cuticle, or our imaginary cuticle here. Alright, I think we're good to go. I'm gonna cure this little guy, and then I'll file. I usually file off camera because it just is kind of boring and it makes a mess. So if you would like to see filing, leave me a comment and I can do a video on just filing, or I can include it in a video with the regular process. Alright, all the filing is done. So we'll go ahead and start with the artwork. I'm gonna go ahead and paint the pointer finger in an orange. It's more of a bright orange, H06 from this Joy Tea brand. It's another one I got off of Amazon, not too expensive, and I like it. So we'll start with one coat. So I couldn't remember if it was opaque or more of a jelly kind of sheer color. It looks kind of sheer, so I'll go ahead and do 2 coats of this one so we get a nice solid color. I think I'm gonna do some stamping on this nail from the Halloween plate that I showed earlier at the beginning of the video. So we're gonna go ahead and cure this in the lamp for 30 seconds and do another coat. All right, so we did cure this one for 30 seconds. We're gonna go ahead and do the other layer or other coat. Still showing kind of, I was hoping to cover the whole nail without seeing the tip on there, but unless I do 2 coats, that's not gonna happen. But I think we're gonna be okay like that. What do you all think? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cure that for 30 seconds. All right, so I took it out of the lamp. It's done. I'm gonna move on to the middle finger. And I think I'm gonna do that one also orange. I'm just winging this. I haven't really came up with a design of how I want to do this. I just knew I wanted to do something Halloween inspired. Make that money, throw it in, booty bouncing, don't Rolls-Royce, Lamborghini, Blue Medina, always beaming, rag top, chrome pipes, blue lights, out of sight, long weed, so in, say it again, so in, make that money, throw it in, booty bouncing, don't Rolls-Royce, Lamborghini, Blue Medina, always beaming, rag top, chrome pipes, blue lights, out of sight, long weed, so in. And I do like to do thin layers of the polish just so it cures good on there and there's no bubbles or areas that don't get cured. I know I've seen other videos that they put a too thick of a coat, and once it's cured you get bubbles in the center or something happens. So I'd rather just do 2 or even 3 coats thinly so it cures properly and you have no issues. So we'll go ahead and get this cured and do the second coat. Alright, so I went ahead and finished polishing all the nails. I did obviously the ring finger and black, 2 coats. So the orange did stay a little bit sheer. So the next time if I do another Halloween set, I'll have to remember to do white, a layer of white polish under the orange so you don't see through it there. But I don't think that's going to be too bad because we're going to do the stamping, of course, over, so that should cover most of it or some of it. And it doesn't look too bad. I just pictured it in my mind totally opaque. So the stamping gel we're going to use is from Born Pretty, and I have black here and white. I'm not sure if I'm gonna end up using the white, but I got it out just in case. So I think I want to do a haunted house on the first orange nail. And I think I'm feeling maybe this haunted house. Or maybe this one with a bat. Yeah, we'll do that one with a bat. And I've used this stamping gel, I think once before. So you just put a little bit on the bottom of the plate. I don't know if you can see, I'm gonna move my hand out of the way here. So I put just a little line at the bottom of the plate, and then we'll swipe it up, and that should cover everything. Actually, I'm gonna just go in with a little more. This gel is pretty thick, so it covers pretty good. And the scrapers that I have are, this one is quite thin and flexible, and this one is a little bit more like a credit card, thicker and not as flexible. And honestly, it just depends on which one you prefer. I'm gonna go ahead and use the thicker one to cover. And then I'll go back the other way to try to get off all the excess so it doesn't come off on the stamper when I transfer the design. And what I have learned with the stamping gel is you need to leave it for a couple of seconds once it's transferred, so it doesn't smear. And this jelly is not as transparent as I remember. So you see you got some excess lines in there. I'm gonna see if I can remove them. And I don't have, usually I use a Q-tip, but I don't have one here. So I just dipped my brush in a little bit of the alcohol. Since it's gel, it works the same way as gel polish or polygel to clean up the area there. I'm gonna try to get in between here without messing up the design too much. Takes a very steady hand, which I usually don't have, so we'll see what happens. And I guess you can probably use a smaller brush too. That might help, especially for these little small areas, but again, I don't have it on hand. And that's the way it came out. That's pretty cute. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and wait a couple of seconds longer, maybe another 30 seconds, just so it doesn't smear when I transfer it. And if it does smear, actually I'm gonna take this off. That's not part of the design. What am I thinking? So if it does smear, we can always just wipe it off and pretend it never happened. And we can start again. As long as you don't cure it, you can wipe it off as many times as you need. And that's not part of it either. Alright, that looks better. There we go. Alright, so let's move this out of the way. Bring the hand back over. And I'm just gonna fold these ones out of the way here. So this jelly, I don't know if you can see it is, let me get the angle right here. It is transparent, you can see through it. It is a little cloudy, but I can still see through it. So I'm gonna go ahead and go at the tip of the nail so that the bottom of the house is right at the tip. And rock it up to get the bat in there. Oh wow, look at that. Not too bad. I hadn't stamped in a minute, so that didn't come out too bad. And as you can see, the little speck of black there, I don't even know where that came from because it's not on the stamper. So anyways, we can dip that in the alcohol and take it right off. There we go. And as long as we're happy with that, we'll go ahead and cure that in the lamp for 30 seconds. Alright, so I went ahead and cured it, and I ended up doing 2 more bats on top and cured those for 30 seconds. And we'll move on to the middle finger. For that one, I think we want to do the spider web. That one right there. So we'll go ahead and dab of the black stamping gel again. And I might leave those bats that are already covered instead of cleaning them off. I don't know if you can see here. Instead of cleaning them off, I'll go ahead and leave them already covered in the gel, and then I'll use those after on the top of the spider web, maybe. All right, so let's pick up the spider web. Alright, there we go with the spider web. And I'm going to go ahead and clean up the edges with the brush again.
Make that money, throw it in, booty bouncing, gone ahead. Rolls Royce, Lamborghini, Blue Medina, always beaming, rag top, chrome pipes, blue lights, out of sight, long weed, sold in, say it again.
And this one has some more delicate lines in between, so I cannot go in and clean off that excess gel, stamping gel there. So we'll see how that looks on the nail. If it doesn't come out okay, then I will just take it all off and do it again and make sure I swipe it or wipe off the excess a little bit better so we don't have those extra lines in the middle there. Alright, we'll wait a few seconds.
Sports, Lamborghini, blue Medina, always beaming, rag top, chrome pipes, blue lights out of sight, long weed so thin.
And we'll try to do this right in the center of the nail. And you want to rock it around, top, bottom. Okay. So I don't really like the way it came out because you still see the lines are not as crisp on the web. So all you gotta do is take your alcohol pad and wipe it off. See, like it never happened. And then you just wipe off your stamper as well. And you wipe off the stamping plate. Alright, so it's ready to go again. So let's try it again. And this time I'll try to use less gel so there's not so much excess. And I'm just really going over this web so we don't have excess gel around it. So I think that looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and see if we can transfer this over to the jelly. There we go. That is much better. Much better. So we'll clean around with the brush once again. And I don't know what that is. I don't like that. I'm gonna clean that off.
Bouncing down here, Rolls Royce, Lamborghini, blue Medina, always beaming, rag top, chrome pipes, blue lights out of sight.
All right, there we go. There's our spider web with that big nasty spider. I hate spiders. I love animals, but spiders I cannot deal.
Out of sight, long weed so thin, say it again, so thin, make that money.
All right, try to get that in the center of the nail. Rock it around, and it looks like it's smeared a little bit on the bottom, but I think we're gonna be okay because I'm gonna try to clean that up. And if you're using the brush to clean it up, make sure you take off as much excess, because if anything drips on the nail, it's just gonna smear into the design and then you'll have to do it all over again. So that's not fun. And this line, I'm gonna take it off. All right, Yeah. So I think we're good. What do you all think about this spider web? So I'm gonna put this in the lamp and cure for 30 seconds. Clean out the stamper and plate so we can go again. Alright, so the stamper's cleaned off, the jelly's cleaned off. The nail is set for 30 seconds in the lamp. Moving on to the ring finger. And I am gonna end up using the white because I forgot I have this black nail. And I have no orange stamping gel. So we're gonna use white. And for the white one, I think we're gonna go with the, let's see, either this face or some ghosts and this cemetery little scene. I think I'll go with the cemetery scene and the ghost for white on black. You think you have everything in your little nail supply, but once certain holidays or specific things come up and you want to use certain colors or whatnot, sometimes you find out you don't have them. So you just gotta work with what you have and keep on going. I think this white might look good because, you know, tombstones are not usually orange anyway. Tombstones are, or headstones rather, are usually white or gray. And again, I'm just wiping everything I can so we don't get any excess. And this mat that I have here, this pink background, is a silicone mat to protect my desk in case I spill anything. And I really like it, but to work with it sometimes not so fun. Oh, what about this body hanging from the tree in white? Oh, that might be kind of cool. All right, change of plan. Let's go ahead and cover this. Most of the body's already done, so I'm gonna get this tree in. Oh shoot, that's black. Dang it, what happened to my white one? Alright, I'm gonna cut this part out because here's the white one. Never mind. I'm gonna keep it real and we're just gonna take a deep breath. Remove this black. And I'm right-handed, so it's kind of hard to work with my left hand. All right, there we go. And I use alcohol pads because they're easier. And if you use cotton balls or cotton swabs or whatever, it tends to leave cotton pieces everywhere. So if you can get your hands on some alcohol pads, I highly recommend it. All right, back to the stamping. So I got white gel on the tree and the body hanging from the tree. So I'm gonna go ahead and swipe those. And again, as much as I can off of there. And you have all the time that you need because this is not regular polish that's gonna dry with the air. It's gonna dry in the lamp. So So I'm switching to the more flimsy one. Hopefully that'll... I don't think that's gonna do it. I see the lines, so I'm gonna just try to go. Oh, and I see it don't have white in that tree all the way. Darn it. So let's... Back again. I keep moving my white one. Stamp this. There's a big enough space there. If there's extra gel on the stamper, I can get the brush in there. So let's just see if we can get everything in here. I might have to do it to one side and then the body on the other. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna have to do.
Make that money, throw it in, booty bouncing, go ahead.
So the body's in there.
Always beaming, rag top, chrome pipes, blue lights out of sight.
But I didn't get too much of that tree.
Make that money, throw it in, booty bouncing, go ahead. Rolls Royce, Lamborghini, blue Medina, always beaming, rag top, chrome pipes, blue lights out of sight. Long weave, so in, say it again, so in. Make that
Clean around the design.
Rolls Royce, Lamborghini, blue Medina, always beaming, rag top, chrome pipes, blue lights out of sight. Long weave, so in, say it again, so in. Make that money, throw it in, booty bouncing, don't
There we go. Not bad. Clean around the tree.
Blue Medina, always beaming, rag top, chrome pipes, blue lights out of sight. Long weave, so in.
All right, there we go.
Make that money, throw it in.
So let's see how this is gonna come out on the nail. Hopefully we don't have to repeat this. Oh, I don't know if it's gonna make it on the nail. This person is not gonna make it on the nail. Nope. Didn't work, guys. So I'm gonna clean everything off and try it a different way. Alright guys, so this is taking a little longer than expected. So I cleaned everything off and I'm going with the original decision to do the tombstone, or the, whatever you want to call this, tombstones or headstones, and with the ghost. So I cleaned off the nail and I'm going to put this on there and then we'll do the ghost. Let's see if I can get the center on the nail. There we go. That RAP didn't come out as clear as I had wanted it to. I think I kind of smeared it, but you can see what it is. I'm just cleaning up the edge here. And there's waste on there from the last one. And I'm going to go ahead and cure this before I smear it, and then we'll put the ghost on there. Alright, so I did the ghost. for the black nail. And we might put 2 of them. We have enough room, I think. So we'll put this one off to the side. There we go. And I might have enough gel on here to go ahead and do the other one up above.
Blue Medina, always beaming, rag top, chrome pipes, blue lights out of sight.
And there we go. And as you can see, I did take off a little bit of the one I already did, so it's not gonna be as white, but I think we'll be okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and cure those in the lamp for 30 seconds.
Make that money, throw it in, booty bouncing.
Alright, so the ring finger is done. Not the best that I've done, but I'm still learning stamping, so bear with me, be patient. So moving on to the pinky, I think I'm going to do the little boo, and then some bats on top and underneath it. So let's get the black.
Booty bouncing, don't Lamborghini, blue Medina, always beaming, rag top, chrome pipes, blue lights out of sight.
And I put not quite enough, it's not covering all those little bats up top. So I'll add a little bit more. And if you all have any tips or tricks to do stamping with the gel, please leave me comments below as to what works for you, because like I said, I'm still learning and experimenting to see what works best for me. And this one looked like it transferred pretty good without any excess around there, so I'm gonna go ahead and just stamp this. There we go. Looks pretty good. I'll just clean up there and we'll be good to go for this one. That was much less pain, mental anguish. I get very impatient with myself. So doing nails has taught me to be more patient, or try to be anyway. Not sure how well that's working. But anyway, there's your little boo. Put this little guy in the orange nail. So I was contemplating the witch, but I think I'm gonna pass. And we'll just do bats. Since we've got bats on the pointer finger, it's kind of gonna all tie in together. Alright, there we go. There's the bow. And I didn't realize, I was wondering what that little line was, but it's a half moon. So that's cute. Alright, so we'll just wipe the stamper. wipe the plate. And go again with some more bats. This little section of bats over here. So I'm doing less gel in hopes that is fix the problem of getting excess. I'm just moving it around to get all the bats covered, which seemed to work. There we go. So I'm just gonna try to scrape off. I see a little bit there and I don't, there we go. It was right above the bigger bat. Alright. So there we go. Now I can see that it's pretty clear or clean. And we're gonna go ahead and stamp these little guys. There we go. And of course I think it's inevitable to get a surrounding area picked up because the stamping gel spreads, but that's easy fix. Alright, so I cleaned off the bats and I did cure this for 30 seconds so I don't mess it up like I did the ghosts. So we're gonna go ahead and place this on top. And there we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it again. So we get that's on the bottom part. We're almost there, guys. This is my first video real time all the way through without edit. So let me know in the comments if you prefer this type or the other ones that I've done before with editing and speeding up part of the process. I know for me, sometimes it just depends on my mood. If I want to see the whole process or just parts of it. Also, if it's something new that I'm not familiar with, I do like to watch the whole process several times. So, whatever you prefer. Fine with me. Clean up the stamper again. Chrome pipes, blue lights out of sight. Long weed sold in, say it again, sold in. Make that money, throw it in. Booty bouncing, don't hit. Rolls Royce, Lamborghini, blue Medina, always beaming. Rag top, chrome pipes, blue lights out of sight. So I wait for the alcohol to dry from the stamper, and that gives the ink on the stamper to dry for a few seconds as well, so it does not smear once I place it on the nail. Alright, I think we're good there. Go ahead and put it on the bottom. And there we go. The last stamp for the set. I'm gonna go ahead and cure this for 30 seconds. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and cure them all for 60 seconds to ensure they do not spread once I top coat them all. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and top coat these all. And I do have the top coat for the same brand that I did the orange and black in. And this little polish holder is pretty cool. It holds your polish so it doesn't tip over. Comes in very handy when I do my videos. Alright. I think because I went ahead and cured these all for 60 seconds after, it's not smearing the gel, because I did try it, like I said, the gel stamping before, and it did smear a tiny bit, but I didn't cure it as long either. I only did it 30 seconds and then top coated it, but this time I did a full 60, and actually it was more like 80 because I did it 30 to begin with, so it sets in and doesn't smear from the other ones. And then a full 60 seconds at the end. Alright, you guys, here you go. First Halloween set. We got ghosts and bats and spiders. Let me know in the comments what you think. And if you want another set, I think I do have some other plates for Halloween, so I can try those. Thanks again for watching. And don't forget that notification bell and subscription if you're new to listening and watching. And we'll see you next time.
Pipes, low lights, out of sight. Long weed, sold in. Say it again, sold in. Make that money, throw it in. Booty bouncing, don't hit. Rolls Royce, Lamborghini, Blue Medina.